Welcome students. So this was the program that we had left yesterday. So let us complete this program. Almost all the coding was done. So I will just revisit what exactly we tried to do. We tried to generate the series, and the series was this one, right? 1 plus 1 and 1 no, divided by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial, and it goes till 1 by n factorial. So that is what exactly we were trying to do. So so this was the program. So what we did over here is we are going to accept a number, that is the n number, and till the nth series we are going to generate the value. And then we took a variable, that is the sum of the series is equal to 0. So let us just give the comments now. So I will say variable to store the sum. Makes a lot of sense, right? Variable to store the sum, and then we will loop. Okay, loop to generate the series till value n. Okay, then what I did is I said that for I in range 0 comma n plus 1. The reason I took for 0 is because I want that the first value should be only 1 and then plus 1 divided by 1 factorial. So this 1 is what this particular thing is going to do for me, and then when I is 1, okay, then the else part it is going to execute. And what we are doing in the else part is we are calculating the factorial of I. Okay, so this is 1 comma and I plus 1, because the range function will go 1 less, and then this is the statement for calculating the factorial. So let me just give proper comments to this. Is over here I can say if I will be 0, sum of series will be 1. Okay, else calculating to calculate the factorial to calculate the factorial of number I. So this particular condition will go true only for one time, when for the first time when the value of I will be 0, and for the rest of the loop, for the rest of the iterations, the else part is going to run. Okay, and when the else part runs, we are going to calculate the factorial of I, and this is the code where we are calculating the factorial. So over here I can say that let fact be 1, and then loop to calculate the factorial. Right, and this is going to calculate the factorial. And over here then I can give the comment that add the fact to sum of series, and at last we can say printing the value of sum of series. Now without wasting any further time, let us just run this particular code, and let us see. Now if I enter the value of 5, so it is going to generate this number. This is a floating number, so you can just do the calculations and check whether this is right or not. As far as I am concerned, the code is perfect, and this should be the perfect answer. So it is going to work perfectly, do not worry. Okay, now what is happening over here is this is a very long series of number. So let us have round up this particular series of number, the decimal part. Let us round up the decimal part up to 2 decimal points. So how we are going to do that is we are printing the sum of series out here. I am going to use the function called as the round function. Okay, so the round function is going to round up the decimal point. So round sum of series and comma 2. Okay, just a minute, and comma, okay, give comma, okay, comma 2. Okay, so this is going to do, this is going to round up to 2 decimal points. So you can see this is sum, I mean the round function. Under the round function there are 2 arguments, okay, that is the sum of the series, comma 2, and then the closing bracket. This is the opening bracket, this is the closing bracket. You can see the yellow highlighted one, opening and closing, and this is the closing of the print function. Okay, now if I run this particular code and if I enter 5, you can see we have 2.72. so this got rounded up. Now this looks a much better format, isn't it? So this is all about this particular program, and I have also put a lot of comments to this particular program. So that is the way to do it. Okay, always keep a habit as an initial stage. Even when you even if it's a very small program, still you have this habit of putting comments. Now let's move ahead and try one more program, and that is the pattern. Now this is a pattern, it's a pyramid of the ASCII character, that is the star character in simple language. So what is happening in this is I need to develop a program which will generate this pattern. Okay, now please understand that if you talk about the console means the place where we normally generate the output. Okay, this is the place where we generate the output. Now if you talk about the console, the cursor is always at the left hand side. Okay, the cursor blinks at the left hand side, and the printing text plays from the left hand side. Okay, so for example it printed sum of the series is and then 2.72, and then the cursor comes to the next line. So with the help of the cursor we do the printing. Okay, just like we work with a Word document in MS Word, there is a cursor, right? So wherever the cursor is, you try to type it. The point where the cursor is, it will start typing it from that particular position, and when you press enter, the cursor comes to the next line. The same thing in the console also, it is at the left hand side, and whatever you do, the print statement you give, so the cursor prints from the left hand side. And if you have, after printing, the print function basically will print and the cursor comes to the next line. Just like what you can see, there is a cursor blinking out here. So what we are supposed to do to generate such a pattern, for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can say that if n, I will accept a value n from the user. If n is 5, so this is what the pyramid I am going to have. There will be around 5 rows. If n is 6, so there will be 6 rows basically. Okay, and so on. So whatever number n the user is going to enter, accordingly to that we are going to have this output. Okay, now the cursor is blinking at the left hand side, as I said. So what I need to do is I need to travel this or these many characters. So what I've done is I've just I'm printing that hyphen character, the minus character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see there are 5 the minus characters that we have, right? The hyphen characters, and then we have the ASCII character, that is the simple language, a star character. Then the cursor I need to bring it to the next line. Okay, after printing the 5 the hyphen characters and then the ASCII character, then I need to bring that cursor to next line. In next line, then the hyphen character becomes 4 and the star characters are becoming 3. Okay, then next line there are 3 hyphen characters, and over here there are 5. So this is 1 star, 3 star, 5 star, 7, and this is 9 stars, the 9 ASCII characters. So basically these are like all the odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, okay, 7 and 9, and these are like the hyphens are like this is like 5, this is 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, so my task is, initially obviously I'm going to make use of nested loops out here, and what I need to do is, initially the loop should print 5 hyphen characters and 1 star character, and then the cursor comes to the next line. In the next line I need to print 4 hyphen characters and 3 ASCII characters, and that is how the things are going to move. Okay, so let us develop the program now. So I will say, I will accept a input n from the user. I will say input, and I will say enter n. Okay, and now I'm going to start a loop for I in range, and I'm going to take this loop till n. So it will go from 0 to basically n minus 1. So since we are starting from 0, so that's perfect. Now inside this I will be having two loops. One loop will do the printing of these characters, that is the hyphen characters. So initially I want, I will be having a loop which will do the printing of these characters. These are 5 hyphens, but next time the loop should have only 4 iterations, then 3 iterations, then 2 iterations, and then 1 iteration. So how I'm going to do that is, for j in range, and I can say, I need something like, these are 5 4 3 2 1. So, and I will be 0 initially, right? So what logic should I come up with, what formula should I come up with, that this loop, the j loop, will initially, when I will be 0, this will run for 5 times, 5 4 3 2 and 1, and so on, right? So I can say I minus I, comma, and I will say, okay, or I can do it this way also, like, or only n minus I. Okay, give a colon, and I will say print and then the hyphen, and the print function basically will print the character and come to the next line, but I don't want it to come to the next line, so I'm going to give end as a empty string. Okay, empty string. So I'm going to end that with an empty string. So now let us see whether this is going to work or not. Okay, so what is going to happen is, n is going to be, for example, 5. Okay, if I give n as 5, okay, I in range n, j in range n minus I. So what is the value of I initially? It will be 0. And when I say n minus I, so that is 5 minus I. So that is 5 out here, because I will be 0. So this loop will run from 0 to 4. So my purpose of having it to run 5 times is getting solved out here. So 5 iterations I'm achieving it. And when all this, the statement, the block code gets executed, I then will change to 1. That's the outermost loop. And then this will be n minus 1. So that is 4. So it will run from 0 to 3. That is 4 times. So this is solving my purpose, basically the innermost loop. So this j loop, initially it will iterate for 5 times, then 4 times, then 3 2 and 1. That's perfect. But after printing the hyphens, I need to print the star as well. So how I'm going to do that? I'm going to start one more loop. Now please understand, this for loop and this for loop, okay, their indentation is same. Okay, so this for loop does not come under this loop. Okay, these are like two separate loops, but these two loops, they come under this outermost loop. Okay, but these two loops, inside there are two loops, these are independent loops. Please, okay, be very careful about that. So when I say, I can say for j in range, and now what I need over here is, I require 1 star, 3 star, 5 7 9. So I need all the odd numbers. So what I'm going to do is, I will be having I, okay, and I initially will be 0. So what I will do is, let me have plus 1 out here. Okay, So what this is going to do, I plus 1, so this is only 1. Okay, and it starts from 0. If I do not give anything, or if I say 0 comma, it's one and the same thing, so it will start from 0, and this is I initially will be 0 per 0 0 plus 1, right? So this is going to have one iteration, and so we can have that 1 star, but next time it should have 3, and that is the problem, right? So how I'm going to do this is I will say 2 into I minus 1. Okay, let us check this. So if I say 2 into I minus 1, so I initially will be 0, or I can say only 2 into I and plus 1. Let us check this one. So I will be 0, so 2 into I 0 plus 1, so this is 0 and 1. Okay, I will be 0, so this will be 2 into 0 is 0 plus 1, so this will be 1, so it goes for one time. But next time I will be 1, so this is 2 into 1, that is 2 plus 1. Okay, so 2 plus 1, that is 3 out here. And this loop starts from 0, so 0 1 2. So I think this is going to work for us. Let us see. If I say print, and I will print this, the ASCII character, and end it with the empty string, because I want the cursor to be on the same line. Unless and until it doesn't print all the star, all the ASCIIs, it should not come to the next line. After I print the hyphen and the ASCII characters, then outside the J loop again, this is the same loop I've used JJ, because this is going to get over, then we start the new loop. Over here I'm going to say print, and that's it. If I say only print, it is going to, the cursor is going to come to the next line. Okay, now let us just run this, and let's check the output. So if I give 5 and okay, it has run this series. So let me give a right click over here and run this one. Okay, so now if I give 5, and you can see that's the perfect output that we got. Okay, now if I run this again, if I give like 7, something like 7, and you can see that now we have 7 rows out here. 7 rows have got generated. So this particular code is absolutely working perfect for us. And what is the formulas that I've used is this one, like n minus I, and then this is 2 into I plus 1. Okay, now I leave this up to you. Please complete this program and give proper comments to these programs. Okay, that is the part that I expect you to do it. So how I generated this code, how I logically thought of generating this pattern. Okay, you need to just think in the same direction so that your logical way of thinking improves. So the more program you implement, you're going to be a better programmer. Just by reading books, you're never going to learn programming. Just by watching videos, you will never learn programming. After watching the video, you have to open the computer and implement what you saw. Okay, and then you will come across some errors. You need to give some time, try to rectify the errors. There will be certain syntax errors, certain logical errors, but then you need to spend some time just to come up with your own solutions. If you really work hard, you still do not find a solution, then you can ask the teacher, but you have to try it from your side. You have to give 100% from your side. Only then that will help you to become a better programmer. Okay, so this is what we have for today. So let us meet the next time. Please go ahead, just don't watch the video. After watching this video, open the computer, implement it. Bye for now.